Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Beekeeper Tarot. My name is Alan. Thank you so much for joining me, so much for your comments and the subscriptions and your feedback and your kindness and all that sort of stuff. So I really, really do appreciate it, guys. So thank you so much. Yeah, the new plants are doing well. The ones that I propagated the other day, they're just hanging in there and getting ready to sprout roots, and they're looking fine. So I'll keep an eye on those and probably do a video on them, a quick one, maybe in a couple of days' time to see how they're going. Yeah, so I hope you guys are having a nice Easter. To any people out there that are celebrating the Easter ceremony, and I'm talking mainly to the Christian people out there or anybody that is watching this that has family that are celebrating Easter. I'm not a religious person myself, but by the same token, I fully respect um, people's rights and belief to worship and carry themselves out in whatever way they want to do. So, to anybody out there that is directly or has family or loved ones or friends that are celebrating Easter, I wish them all and wish you all a wonderful celebration, and I wish you a safe celebration. And I hope that in the process of celebrating Jesus, it gives you peace and it renews your faith in that way. Yeah, because everybody is free to worship who they want to worship and love who they want to worship, and the list goes on. So it's inclusive here, right? It's always inclusive. So everybody is welcome here. Okay. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about today was a little bit about Kilmer Abrego Garcia. So this is a bit heavy, guys, so stay with me, right? So he was, I've just written down some notes here so I can make sure that I've got this right. So I better say this before I go any further. YouTube, a big fat entertainment only. I am but a tarot reader, a little humble tarot reader. Lots of entertainment here, YouTube, because yeah, I'm not a legal person. I'm just a tarot reader who happens to care. Okay, so the Washington Post, I was having a look at that this morning. Now they said that a guy by the name, a senator from Maryland, a Democratic senator, his name was Chris Van Hollen. He visited Kilmer. He visited Garcia. So Garcia was the guy that was incorrectly sent to a high security prison in El Salvador with no process. So no court appearances, no criminal charges against him. He was just sent, right? So stay with me. So basically, what happened was the Senator Chris Van Hollen, from the Democrat senator from Maryland, he visited Garcia, who was wrongly deported into a El Salvador prison. Now, what happened after that? According to the Washington Post, he has been moved from the maximum security prison to a detention center with better conditions. And cop this, according to the Washington Post, and the current US administration, and I'm choosing my words carefully here, is paying El Salvador 15 million to detain deportees in prison. So Van Hollen, that is a Democratic congressperson from Maryland, advocated for Garrett for his release, and he spoke to the vice president of El Salvador. And so that's what's happened. So something has changed. Now, of course, Felon, and this is the irony of it, a convicted felon. I'll just let that settle. Basically said that Van Hollen was fake. I guess that's probably. I'm just trying to choose my words carefully without being too venomous, because it brings up energies within me when I think about 47. But let's just say fake is something that that person commonly says. Let's just say that. And I won't go any further into that. Now, basically, According to the DOJ, they're saying that he was part of a criminal gang. But once again, there's been no process. There's been no conviction. There's been no evidence, no nothing. He just got deported. Now, 40 Felon said before, so Felon met the president of El Salvador, a guy by the name of Nayib Bukele, on Monday, I think it was, in the White House. And they were basically saying that they can't, get Garcia home. It's just that it's impossible. We can't do it. It's impossible. Though I wonder what would happen if it was one of 47's children or someone that I was going to say he doesn't really care about anybody, but imagine if it was Ivanka that was in prison in El Salvador. Maybe the outcome might be a little bit different. Just saying. Just saying. YouTube, entertainment only. I'm just expressing an opinion. So that's kind of where we're going on right now. So a couple of things I wanted to unpack with this. So because Van Hollen, the senator from Maryland, went down to see Garcia in El Salvador, his conditions changed. Now, I'm not saying for one second that he's probably in a great situation. I'm sure that, it's still rat infested and God knows what. But the thing is, something changed. And this is why protests and protests, protesting and making noise in a safe, legal way matters. So always remember that. And when I'm talking about stuff from the US, like it's hard to read on because I don't want to leave a sense of doom and gloom. That's not what I'm on about, and that's not what I want this channel to be about. It's like I have to find that level where I'm saying what I believe is the truth and what's going on, but the solution. I'll always try to be solution orientated when I'm reading, especially about all this crap happening in the USA. And crap happens in Australia too, and crap happens all over the world. So I'm not saying that the crap is only happening in the USA. And one day one day I'd like to tell you about the way that the Australians have treated the Aboriginal people. That's a very harrowing story. But what I'm saying to you is that my country, Australia, is not perfect. So I just wanted to get that out there. I'm not just knocking the US. Well, I'm not knocking the US. I'm knocking the US administration. I'm not knocking anybody from the US. I'm criticizing the US administration as I have the right to do. But once again, YouTube, just to clarify, entertainment only. Okay. All right. Having said all of that, so this is why the protests are important. And this is why I feel it's important to get involved in whatever way you can, because it gives us a sense of ownership. Because what this ownership over what's going on, and I'm looking for, if there's going to be any protests in Sydney, I'm looking for it. If there is going to be something there, and if I can make it, which I should be able to, I'll be there with my bottle of water and screaming my head off because I am so upset by what I see happening, and I am upset with the lack of justice, and I'm upset with what is happening in the US, also for obviously for the US people, and obviously for the people that watch this channel, and people I know in the USA who did not vote for this mess. But also, this is now overfilling and influencing the world too. And this situation with Garcia is also sending a message to the world. Okay. And I think a lot of this is actually just designed to put fear into people. Now, I've never read a fascist book. I've never read anything on autocracy. Um, I did read a brief history of Russia about maybe 10, 15 years ago. And it was just one big bloodbath, it was horrible. And so, and basically, I'm thinking, well, no wonder I've been to Russia. I would never go back there again. Yeah, that is another story. But what I'm saying is these dictator regimes, a lot of what they do is they work on instilling fear into people. And even though the US system is not perfect, you still have the Democrats, you still have people that are getting out there and protesting, you still have a voice. And that's why it's so important to be a part of that voice of resistance. And in the same way that 47, the felon, is saying, I think he also said that Holland was a fool for going over to El Salvador. But he's going to say whatever he says. We just know that if he opens his mouth, it's just going to be a lie. We know that. I mean, that's his. It's probably his whole life, right? We know that. So what I'm saying is that looking at that, that's why I've been sort of talking about the importance of protesting and the importance of getting involved. And it could even just be writing a letter to your GOP senator or to your representative to say, hey, what's going on? Because every and every voice matters, and courage is contagious like fear is contagious. So I'm trying to always promote that when I'm talking about this rubbish, because I just don't want people to feel there's nothing I can do, because there is something that we can do. We can protest and we can make our voices heard. It's something. And in the same way, it's a little it in the same way as Holland going to El Salvador, it changed the situation for Garcia, assuming that this article is true, right? He went out from a maximum security prison to a lesser harsh detention center. And I'm not saying that probably where he is it's I would doubt very much that it's perfect, but it is a change. And so I kind of wanted to forgive me for my long blurb here before I started reading, but that's my motive for doing this blurb. I just wanted to put that all into context. So I just wanted to unpack some of this stuff. So I'm going to do some readings. So come on down, guys. Let's go. So, will Garcia be released? I hope so. Will Garcia. Okay, so when the cards start to do that, they want to talk. When they get all jumpy, it's like, all right, Alan, we want to talk to you. Okay, so will Garcia, that's the energy I'm feeling, be released? Will Garcia be released? Will Garcia be released? Yeah. Mm. Oh God. Not currently. There's a lot of well, I can see what's going on at least. Come on up, guys. Such a dark energy here. Um, yeah, but I've got what I believe is the full story. So anyway, will he be released? So right now he's in prison, right? This is the Eight of Swords. And let me just pause this, and I'm just going to adjust the light so you can hopefully see this card a bit better. 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I just closed my window. Yeah, in front of me, it closed the blinds. Will he be released? Eight of Swords. So this is him in prison right now. And this is the bully card. So entertainment only YouTube. This is 47, trying to make his point, being the bully card, trying to get away with something. This is all the BS behind the situation with the Seven of Swords. So this is the bully card. But this is the absolute corruption of what's going on. The absolute corruption of what's going on. And I've just realized here I've got all swords. I've got all swords in this reading, in the main spread of this reading, all swords. So yeah, there's not much love here. Yeah. And there he is in prison. Now, the Four of Swords can mean many things. I don't want to go into what it could be, but for the time being, he's in prison. That's all I'm going to say there with regards to this. But it's not looking good right now. There's no current card to say that it's going to be released. But right now he's kind of trapped in the El Salvador prison system. And it doesn't matter what his children, it doesn't matter to the 47 administration that he is a father and he's got kids and a wife and his kids are missing him. That doesn't matter. I think possibly there might be some ongoing legal court injunction that could happen with this. So I think this is the legal process going forward. It's going to go up, it's going to gain momentum, it's going to start charging ahead. And once again, I've just got more swords here. And now I've got fire. So the legal system is really going to start charging ahead, right? With respect to both governments. So I believe this is the 47 administration and the administration in El Salvador, this dictator in El Salvador. Emphasis on the first syllable of that word. There could be some announcement with the Page of Wands coming up about some heartbreak due to a tower moment because of the devil. So you can see who's behind this, right? I don't need to say his name. He's behind this. And I wish I had better news. And that's the thing, it's that balance where you've got to read it as you feel it, and sometimes the cards aren't great, sometimes the cards aren't what you want them to be. And I have to be honest with you. I have to be honest, even when I'm reading on something hard, I've got to be honest with you. And I can't see any release in the immediate future, but the energies is really dark around this. So, but I still believe just got to keep protesting, just got to keep out there and keep making that noise, because every life does matter. And as much as this is a horrible reading and I'm just really feeling the energy from this, I can feel it, I can feel this energy, and it's not nice. I want to ask about the meeting with the president of the USA with the president of El Salvador. The article I read said that there was, what did I say? Was it 15 billion or something? Let me just double check, guys. Sorry. Yeah, the administration is paying El Salvador 15 million to detain deportees in prison. Was that meeting between the president of the United States and the president of El Salvador? What was that meeting about? What was that meeting about? I have a good idea, but I'm trying not to include my bias. Come on down, guys. Okay, Spirit. There's the Ten of Wands just feel like that's the burden of the whole situation. Okay, so what was the meeting with 47 and the El Salvador president about? What was the meeting of 47 and El Salvador's president about? What, Spirit, was the meeting between 47 and El Salvador's president about? What was the meeting? Three of Swords, God, horrible energy. What was the meeting between the president of El Salvador and 47 about. I'm going to start shuffling them, but they're Six of Pentacles. Was the meeting about? What was the meeting about? It's a meeting about spirit. Nine of Swords. Three of Wands. Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Wow, the King and Queen of Wands. The Moon. Okay. Coming up, guys. I think the essence of the reading was to say that people are concerned about the situation that Garcia is in. That's what it was about. I think that there has actually been some impact made. It's almost like I'm getting the impression that 47 and the president of El Salvador were thinking, hey, this is not looking good for us. This is highlighting something that we maybe shouldn't be doing. But it's almost like there's waiting for something to come in. It's almost like, well, if you do this, I can do this. I kind of think that there's some kind of a deal being made. I mean, because the Three of Pentacles, it can mean like it can mean many things. It can mean the ship's going out, the ship's coming in. But in this case, it's almost like, well, let's wait and see what happens. But what's interesting here is I've got the King and Queen of Wands. I've got the power couple, and there's definitely about taking some action. I think this is the King of I think this is the president of El Salvador. But I don't know who this is. I think this might be his wife, or there might be some other person in El Salvador, some person high up that's a female. I mean, it doesn't have to be a female, being the queen, but there's definitely someone very close to the president of El Salvador that's working with him. It can be a man, it can be a male or a female, but they're working very collectively as a team. They're like, it's almost like they're working in unison. And kings, they don't budge. Kings don't budge. The good thing with queens is all queens are part water. So even though this person, whoever this person is, there's fire energy. All queens have got water, and so there is on some level there is some emotion there. But when you add fire and water, you get steam. So it just depends what's going on. But it's murky. It's really murky energy. It's really murky energy, and it's about payments, and it's about juggling money. And maybe this juggling of money is what we're talking about when we're waiting the ships to come in. It could be, well, Mr. President, I'll offer you this. Oh, no, 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 no. We need a little bit more to juggle things, to work it out. But you can see behind you there's a lot of swelling of emotions, and that's us being angry and feeling very emotional about this. And once again, like I said, just waiting for something to come in. And what's that something coming in? Pentacles can mean many things. It can mean values, but I believe in this case we're talking about money. There's going to be some decision to be made. Yeah. So I think it's almost like, but even though I still think, yeah, actually that's what this is, the courts coming in again. So in spite of all this going on, and I think that the courts might actually be challenging, maybe even an international court, to say, hey, maybe you don't want to be doing this because it's regards to money. Maybe what you're doing is, maybe violating a legal law. How about that? So I think there will be some court challenges on the way, or the how can I say it? The legal system will be kicking in at some point. but I'm not getting good energy about this right now. I wish I could say, I would love to say to you, yep, it's all going to be good and he's going to be free and everything's going to be fine, but it's not what I'm getting, unfortunately, and I wish I had better news. But that's the importance of, yeah. So I'm going to do a quick reading for us. So what do we need to know? Because I really, I don't like leaving readings on a negative basis. I want to do a reading for us. So I'll come back in 2 seconds with another deck. 2 seconds, guys. Okay, hold on.